Hey, Big Dazz here we are. Oh, well, it's a bit of a catch up time. Well, this week's been a wild old week, it has. Started Monday night with sweats and fevers, and my face blew up, and unreal. I was crook, I was bad. When the fever broke, I was still jiggling the legs and that, and I was sweating like a pig. And my trials nurse actually rang. I rang my wife, asking how I was. And she said, not real good. And I thought, here we go. The worst thing with my trials treatment, I can't go to La Trobe Hospital or Launceston Hospital. Emergency, otherwise they ship me straight through to Hobart because I'm under strict guidelines and regimes and things through Hobart through the trials treatment. So, yep. Anyway, long story short, I didn't want to go to hospital, and then tried me trials nurse, lovely person. She rang the head doctor. Dazz, you got to go. You need to be checked out. And I thought, oh, I know what's going to happen. I'm going to get stuck in emergency, and that'll be the end of it. Anyway, got down there. 24 hours later, out of emergency. It was the dirtiest, darkest place. Germs galore, and you got to keep your body away from germs. It's one thing I've learnt from the word go. Stay away from any germs possible, and this just didn't help. It didn't. Met the evilest nurse. She gave me Vegemite sandwich with tea, no crust. Didn't bother. Told him she can have them back. I just had enough. I just had enough. It was a shit show. Had me 3 doctors come down, head doctors. They couldn't even break me out for a few bit of hours away from there. Couldn't get me out. Nah, emergency rules are different. It's like being locked up and you're locked up. And no, you're not crook. But I had all the tests and that for all of it. Make sure I had no infections. Make sure my pickle line wasn't infected, because that could have been occurred, but highly unlikely. But finally got to bed upstairs. Went up there, showered like hell because you just felt that dirty. Coming out of H block down emergency. Alright, walked up there. Dazz, you better get masked up. Why? We're in lockdown. COVID lockdown. Someone brought COVID in, didn't they? So it's gone through with the nurses. It was funny because coming down to it, the nurses was a bit lackluster because there's none there. They cleaned them out, something crying. They just gone through all my favourite nurses. So I didn't get to see them. I got to see one. I didn't see good A in that. I saw another that was a good A, but a lot of them wasn't there. So I saw about 5 of me normal nurses. I caught up with them, said good day and asked how I was, heard you unwell and that sort of thing, and come in crook and that. So I was all over it before I even got up there. It was, but yeah, she come down, she was a bit of a rigmarole, but what'll do? My face went down though, I went down, had a scan, and that what my doctor said would happen, it blew up, but it sucked itself in. Because where the cancers... Oh, excuse me. You get a bit of indigestion after the chemo. Oh, you do. It's just one of the side effects. Got tablets for it, indigestion tablets and all that, so we've got that sorted. But yeah, it's one of the little things you get hiccups as well. One of the little side effects. Anyway, what's happening? Say here, that's where the cancer is, just there. It's probably that bit there. We worked it out. But when it exploded itself and blew up, I'll put some pictures in, so as you can understand what I mean at the end of this video. I'll put some pictures in, and it blew up like it was big. And I didn't take much notice. I looked at it and thought, oh shit, here we go. And it sucked itself back in. So what it's done, the chemo's hit it in a certain spot, and it's went like, the cancer's gone, you're not having me, it's went up like that in a reaction, and it sucked itself back in. And it's dying. Inside of it's dying off. The chemo's working. So that's a bonus. We learned that through the scans and a couple of tests. What the go was, and that's what happened. So it probably could happen again. But it means it's working. It means the cancer's trying to fight back to the chemotherapy that's going in. So as the chemo is hitting that target, it's knocking it on the head. And every so often it feels like someone runs past and gives it a kick. And it's like, ah. It is, but it's the chemo working to it. It's hitting it. So it's working. It's good. Like it's how would you say it? Kicking it, giving it. I call it giving it a kicking, and it's doing it. So that's what happened. So which is a good thing for me. It's working, and that. I got a new doctor as well. Another lady's on board with us. She met me in emergency. A couple of them did actually come down in emergency and looked, and they met me. And we went up there, so we got out of the COVID. We got none of that, so I was lucky. So I was I'm pretty immune to the sickness of different things. Pretty lucky, really. So I got none of that, and yeah. So today's Saturday, and I got out. I was bang last chemo. Everything was set up, dialed in. 7 of us had chemo for the day. 2 chemo nurses, wasn't there? And me and another person in the room with me was having the same treatment, which is. I don't even want to talk about him because he's a knob and he doesn't listen to his nurses or doctors, and he tries to argue with them. And I could have helped him a lot with a bit of information, what I know and what I've learned and what I've took in and asked questions and put in place for myself. I could have helped him out, but he just, one of them people was an know-it-all. Anyway, that's enough of that. Anyway, so there's only 2 chemo nurses and our room was near last to get home. And we got a 3-hour trip. It could be 4-hour trip on the way home. Depends how your sugars react and to the steroids and that. My sugars wasn't bad, so I got home without stopping 200 times for a piss. That's hard, yeah. To come back from Hobart when there's not a lot of toilet stops. There's only about 4 main ones, and then you got to sort of scooter in on the side of the road without getting caught. But yeah, I was good this time, so the sugars are actually getting controlled a hell of a lot better. So I'm working with a diabetes doctor, not an educator, doctor down at Hobart. She's really good. So working that out slowly, getting that, so I'm getting back to normal. Because the steroids jack it through the roof, especially in type 2 diabetes, it just puts you all over the place. So that's another story. That's something extra. But yeah, so we got out there and we was last on the list to go on to get home, to leave. And I was like, what the frig? And I was the first one ready. 6 o'clock this morning to go in. So we fought with these other couple trying to get it going. They got it going. I got out there at 11:30, 12, when I was about an hour later than it should have been. But and so I'm going to complain. I'm out there and I'm home now. But yeah, so that's the week been. Week from hell, I called it. So to my nurses out there who was crook, hope you all get better. So I'll see you next time. It is. Caught up with a couple of others. Nurses have been knocking around, student nurses, which was good. Couple of them, very nice people, man and lady, awesome. Always good. Hey, how are you? You know, have a yarn. How you going, Dazz? Yeah, getting there slowly. And that, and then I met another nurse, a nighttime nurse. She was quite nice. Then met a couple of other male nurses because you don't get many fellas. You really don't. And these are cool. One was pretty much straight down the line. You get a bit of a giggle and a joke, but he's a bit stiff. But it was alright because he was dialed in. Everything Dev's down to the T, dialed in, which was good. And you could talk to him like about the treatment, and he knew what he was on about. And another gentleman, he was a bit older dude, he was really good. He took me stitches out. He said, no, they're not going to stay there. They're going, they've got to come out now. I said, I'll take them out for you. That was cool. Took them out, and that was different. I honestly say I've never had stitches before, so I've never had them out, and that was a bit weird feeling when he like, pulled. That was alright. But he was cool. He was really good because he knew his shit pretty much. 25 years. That was. So he knew his stuff. He knew his stuff good and proper. So that was good. And he was good, easy bloke, going around, joke, talk, normal talk. He was. But yeah. One of my other nurses, she was there, but it's hard on her because she wasn't cancer trained. She's not. Since the cancer bag went up on me, she couldn't touch it. Had to wait for the other chemo nurses. And it was hard because she couldn't do anything. As soon as the cancer bag went up, you had to be trained for her. I understand, like, yeah, you know. But at the end of the day, I could do it myself. I could. That was the silliest thing. What I've learned so far, I pretty much hooked my lines in, clean my pick out, and jack it up. I just got to program the ratings and the measurements, what's going through for the hours and that in the machine. And I had to put all the lines up. I've learnt all that. Pretty funny, really, because you'll sit there and look at it and think, when they're doing that, and you think, oh, you do this, clean this. Even putting the cleaning stuff in your tube to clean your lines and make sure you got a return line working properly and how to do them and how to connect them and if there's anything wrong with it to pick it out and different ways to get when it gets an air blockage. Learn a few ways of that. Pretty funny because you took it all on. I have. Look at all me testing on. I do all that in my own book when I'm home, and it's different. Like I'm thinking, Jesus, it's pretty bad. I could do my own lines, like what I've learnt, what I've been shown, and like this morning I signed off on. The nurse had to have someone as a witness the blood she was taking out of me for the trials thing, and she asked the head doctors, "Can Daryl do it? And Dazz do it?" And they said, "Yeah, he's all over it. He's got it sorted down pat like nothing else." Said we've got that much trust in him and respect for him. He took this trial treatment on like nothing and stuck to it, and knows all the stuff he's got to do himself. If something comes bad, he knows to how would you say it? To counteract if something goes wrong. And knows all the signs of little bits and pieces of how it's going to be. Like if something's going wrong, like say if that camera there went like that and cut out, so that's the machine going bip, something's wrong, he knows where it could be in the line. That's just what he's picked up as he's gone along. And he keeps he knows how he's pick. His little thing in his chest and how the pick line went in his arm, you know how that worked and how it come out and the length of it went in and the length of it come out was different again. And then when he showed showed his line, this one going in, the H line or HVAC line, whatever it is, double banger. I was called the third nipple. And when he was in the room with that, asked that much stuff about it and researched it, they said. And that's what the doctor said, like, Dazz, you're all over it, you know. Even me, there's a test I've got to do. It was 2 times a day, ICANS test. And what annoyed me a little bit, some of the nurses wasn't doing it correctly. And it's hard because it's government for the trial, it's got to be done. It's got to be done down the dotted line. And that's what I learnt that when I first started it. I do it in my own book at home. It is. And take it home. I didn't have to. And it had to be done at the hospital. I took it home just in case when I'm at home. So if I'm not back there for 5 days and something's not quite right with it. And you do your sentences, your handwriting, where you are, what's different things in the house or on the room you're in, or what state, date, everything like this, count backs from 100. And if you pick up something like, shit, that's a little bit different there, or my handwriting's just starting to change a little bit from this treatment, you let them know. And it gives you them something to look at when you go in. And that's what sort of annoyed me a little bit. A couple of nurses didn't do the test properly. And to do that, you can't. You've got to have it dialed in. They're just a couple of different nurses. Not me regulars. But yeah. And so you do all that as well. And it's like, I think I shocked them a bit because I took it on pretty well. From being the first one in Tassie to have the treatment. So I opened the doorways up for another bloke. He started this weekend, but he had no idea. He's got no idea. He's going to struggle with it all. Because you've got to be all over it. And you got to work with your nurses, your trial nurse especially. You got to work with her because she's the nurse what's for the trial, not just a normal nurse. She's your trials nurse. So you got to work with her. Then you got to listen to everything your doctors say. So like I've got 6 doctors, and they all got their little bits involved in it. Then they got the head doctor. Then there's another one under her. Then there's the next one. Then you got a fella that comes around doing all the notes, and he's a doctor as well. And everybody you got to listen to. Like, ask questions if you want to know something. It is. And that's what I've done. I've done all that. And everybody's got, I respect every one of them. Even the student nurses, they're good. I've got a couple of favourites. They're always been there, and they're always having a go. Like, if you can let them have a go of putting a needle in, even if it's a diabetes needle. Like, I do all that myself and all my needles. But, in saying that, I give them a go. Like, you know, they've got to learn somehow. If it does hurt a little bit, just say to them, you know, that's hurting a little bit. You might want to try it just this way, and they'll, you know. But it comes down to everybody's good. So you got to listen. You got to do everything you can do. Research if you go. Ask a lot of questions. They were going into something flying blind. I ask a lot of questions, and you take it all in, and you get respect. They respect you for asking and learning. And when it comes down to it, you're respecting them. And it's works both ways. They go, yeah, Dad's over it. He's got this sorted. He's onto it. And, yeah, you learn everything you can. I mean, some of the big names for the tablets, I wouldn't have a clue. I've let my wife handle the tablet side because she does that in her job. So, but I know what they do. Like that one there, that does this, that does that, that does that. I don't know the big technical names of them. Goes over my head, that sort of stuff. But I said my wife sorts that out. As is, and she explains to what it is. Or what it does in the normal terms, not the doctor terms. But yeah, you got to work in with it. Once you get that sorted, you're right. Look after yourself though. And it's hard because the only thing that's hard for me because I test a lot for diabetes, keep my sugars and regulated. But when you go to hospital, you got to rely on the nurses to do that. And it's hard to let go of that little bit of control because you know what you got to do. You know what you got to do in them certain things, the way you feel. I feel like your sugars are getting high, and it does. When you sit in there and the steroids are going in, that puts your sugars through the roof, and you can feel it. And you know you need a bit of insulin. Like when you're home, you feel like that, you give yourself a little bit of a hit. Not much, just enough to take the edge off and just bring it back down to a safe level. But when you're in there, you can't because you've got to rely on the nurses to do it. And it's hard, it's hard to let go of it. You know you need it, but you got to wait for them to test you to tell you you need it. And yeah, that's the hardest thing. But I don't know, you'll get there. It's a long. The hardest thing is the mental side of it. The mental side of sitting there knowing you got cancer and you think this is going to work, this is going to work, this is going to work. You got to drill that in your head, something chronic. And you do have setbacks. You'll have setbacks. You'll have bad days, and you'll get in there and you'll pave the way for your trial treatment, and you'll have a person beside you who's got no respect for the treatment you're paving the way for. I was on the second round of it. I was the first one in Tassie to start it, and he come in there, and he was the first round. He had no idea. Argued. This bloke did argue. The older bloke argued with the nurses about the stuff. Didn't know what the chemo bag was. Meanwhile, he's supposed to have R-chop, the other chemo beforehand. It's the same bag was hanging. Same picture bag. You know what a chemo bag is, but no. Didn't know what the steroids was, what was going in. And just whinge about everything. And when they said you can't have cold stuff for this treatment, you can't drink cold water, put your hands in cold stuff, anything. Because it aggravates the sensitivity and can close your throat up if it's too cold. Didn't care, didn't want to know. Well, he's going to find out the hard one, his throat closes up and he gets a cold drink. And at the end of it, when I was letting him out, he said he was going to the pub. Ain't going to work. Stay away from alcohol when you're on chemo. Might have occasional drink, but he's going to get drunk. Toss back. I get sick of it. I could have helped him a long way through it, what I've learnt, but you know, some people you just can't deal with. I couldn't deal with it. I just had enough of it. Mental strain. I never met a bloke snore and fart in his sleep at the same time, and then swear and just ask the nurses weird questions, real perverted questions. Oh, where are you from, love? Never you mind, I would have said to him. Just talking about nationalities and that. A bit rare, a bit sleazy-fied, and then bagging them out when they walked out the door. And it's like when they go past me rolling their eyes at him, and it does my head in that. That's just not right. That just doesn't do me. Look after your nurses. They're there to help you. Help you, make you feel better. Don't argue with your doctors and listen to everything you say. And saying that, no, that happened with him. That's bullshit. I thought I would have paved the way for someone decent. I mean, yeah, he needs help with his cancer, but you know what? When he's like that, it's not going to happen. No one's going to respect him. So, alright, might leave it till that's a week from hell. Next few weeks is good because I'm an outpatient, only needles and that, and then we go in for a third round of chemo. So, and then we get Christmas out. It is. Dog trying to play with my feet. Missed me. Well, my feet don't smell, boy. Big Dazz little photo back. Get outside where you belong. Anyway, I'm going to leave you all to it. I'm going to catch you on the flip side. So hopefully, you all listen to your doctors out there. That's what I recommend. Listen to your doctor. Research any treatment you're on. And this video can help people. Well, that's me. That's me line there. That's me third nipple there. Nice, all cleaned up actually. There's one little stitch there's got to stay, I think. That one there stays in there, hold in place for a bit. And there's 2 stitches in there. What gentleman took out. I can't remember his name. He was German or something. He was alright. He was a cool dude. But yeah, alright. I'll leave you to it. See you on the flip side. Oh, Dazz camera's there. I've been looking elsewhere. Oh, I'm in trouble. It's alright. YouTube video. Filmed it correctly for you out there. Alright, don't forget to jump on, give us a like and subscribe. Big Dazz's cancer battle. I'll go fund me out there if you want to chip in. And there's a raffle going on at the moment. Just to raise a bit of funds from myself. Some awesome companies and good friends who jumped in and chipped in. And there's a country music night coming up too. Yeah, I'll put a bit of links in the descriptions. You might all turn up, you might not. Oh well, if you wanna. And if you got any questions, like if I could help you, I will. I'm no genius. I just studied a bit and asked a few questions, write down, and learn. I say, learn how to beat your cancer. Listen to your doctors. Take every bit of knowledge in and do what you got to do to keep yourself, going. Alright, man, see you all later. And bang this video up on a trusty old YouTube channel. Look at over there. It's weird, you look this way and the camera's here. But I look like I'm looking into the stars. That's weird, that. You look there and your eyes over here. Get used to it. But yeah, my mouth's sort of a bit out of whack. Just the way my face going up and down. And I will be glad when it's all over though. But after it, it's a long battle. It's a long battle. It could be another 6 months of just little bits of treatment to get me through to the end. I am a bit worried though, like this chronic fatigue. A bit worried about that because that's crept up a bit. I reckon I'm going to get it. But I'll work out of it. I don't know. I'll just see how we go. I hope not. But yeah, about 6 months I reckon. So say, what is it? We're in November now. Probably birthday month, June. I reckon next year. Should be over and done with. Hopefully by then anyway. And it might be just a bit of maintenance, needles and that. But alright, I'm going to leave you to it. So he's all right. So on the flip side, Big Dazz off.